Week 13 of the NFL season is over, and honestly, it was a pretty fun week, a pretty good week. A long week in a way, considering we had 3 games on Thursday for Thanksgiving, so I feel like we had NFL football for a good while this weekend. I love it, even though I'm not a fan of Thursday Night Football. I'm okay with Thanksgiving football games because those have been around forever. Now, Thursday Night Football games, hate them, but Thanksgiving, they can stay. Anyways, let's get to recapping this week. Starting off with the first Thanksgiving game, Bears at Lions. The Bears won this game 24-20. It was a pretty close game. It was a pretty good game, and in fact, the Lions quarterback, their third string quarterback, actually looked pretty decent, not gonna lie. And Trubisky probably had his best game of the year, but it's still Trubisky. He's still trash. Nothing's gonna change. The Bears, they're 6-6. Their season's over in that stacked NFC, and I've been saying it since like week 6. Like, their season's been done. And the Lions, well, they're 3-8-1. Kind of curious what's gonna happen with Matt Patricia. Will he stay? Will he get fired? Personally, I think he should stay. Yes, these first 2 seasons haven't been that good, but I mean, his defense ain't that good, his team's not all that healthy, and his team has pretty much been in every game, so I do think Matt Patricia should stay. Next game, Bills at Cowboys. Okay, look, I don't like Josh Allen. He's trash. Like, yeah, some people are going to say, oh, he's been playing good as of late. I don't care. I mean, Blake Bortles had a few good games. I mean, Mitchell Trubisky had a good game literally on the same day. Josh Allen is trash. Bills defense is awesome. Love it. But I wasn't expecting this outcome. I was expecting the Cowboys to get their first win on a, I guess, technically good team. A team above 500, a playoff team. But instead, the Cowboys just got completely embarrassed. And I know there's a lot of Cowboys fans saying, fire Jason Garrett. And Jerry Jones came out and said there's no one better right now. And yeah, I mean, it's true. Like, if you fire Jason Garrett, you're probably going to go 6-10. You don't fire Jason Garrett, well, you'll probably go 8-8, 9-7. And guess what? 8-8, 9-7 is good enough to win you the division in the NFC East. It's that bad. As far as the Bills go, well, they're 9-3. They're now a game and a half behind New England, and they play New England like in a couple of weeks, so things can be interesting in the AFC East here in a couple of weeks. So, I mean, personally, I don't think the Bills are going to do anything, but still, though, you never know. Next game, Saints at Falcons. Saints won this game 26-18. Matt Ryan looks done. Matt Ryan got stiff-armed. It was pretty nasty. And the Falcons kicker made 2 onside kicks in a row. That was pretty awesome. I mean, maybe now, kickers can see what he did on an onside kick, because ever since they changed the kickoff rules, onside kicks haven't been that common. So I don't know, maybe their kicker found something that works, and maybe we'll start seeing more successful onside kicks in the future, but I doubt it. But hey, you never know. Could have just been the Saints being lazy, and honestly, that's what I think it was, because the Saints were just kind of letting the ball bounce, and they weren't even going after it. Alvin Kamara specifically. Next game, Redskins at Panthers. The Redskins win their 2nd game in a row. The Panthers, yikes. Kyle Allen, when he first was inserted into the lineup, he went like 4-0. He won his first 4 games. And everybody was like, oh my god, Kyle Allen is the best thing ever. Well, Kyle Allen sucks. He's not good. And he got completely terrorized by the Redskins defense, which isn't even that good. That's embarrassing. If the Panthers thought they had a plan, if they thought that, okay, we'll release Cam Newton, save all this money in cap, and Kyle Allen will be our starter, and we'll be fine. If they were thinking that, well, they need to reevaluate their plans, because Kyle Allen is clearly not it. Next game, Jets at Bengals. Bengals get their first win of the season. The Jets, they had won 3 games in a row. They were coming off of a game where they completely embarrassed the Raiders. I was expecting the Jets to, get another win. But the Bengals come away with their first win of the season. And this is actually Andy Dalton's first game back from being benched. And they actually won. And, honestly, there's not much else to say about this game because it's the Jets and Bengals. Both of their seasons are over. Next game, Titans at Colts. Titans have won another game. They're 5-1 the last 6 games. And the Colts, well, they drop another. Once upon a time, the Colts were 5-2. Now they're sitting here at 6-6. The Colts season's over. But this game was pretty good at first, and the Titans just kind of blew them out. At first, it was 10-10 at halftime. I believe at some point it was 17-17. Adam Vinatieri missed 2 long field goals. Okay, well, he had one blocked, but it was going to be a miss. The dude kicked it way too low, so it got blocked. But that is terrible coaching by Frank Reich. He sent out Adam Vinatieri to kick a 55-yard field goal early in the game. Adam Vinatieri, he's not the same Adam Vinatieri he was before. He sucks now. And, of course, he was going to miss a 55-yard field goal. Everybody that has been watching football this season knew Vinatieri was going to miss that field goal. And then, the next possession, he sends him out for a 53-yard field goal. And everyone in that stadium, everyone that watches football, everybody that was watching the game, knew he was going to miss the kick. It ended up being blocked, of course, but he still would have missed it. That's just bad coaching by Frank Reich. And let's talk about Jacoby Brissett for a bit. Earlier in the season, everybody was saying, oh, Brissett's good, Brissett's good, Brissett's good. I never thought Brissett was good. I thought Brissett was a complete scrub. And he's been showing it these past 2 weeks. He's a complete scrub. Last week against Houston, Thursday Night Football, the dude was terrified to throw the ball downfield. Against the Titans, he showed you why he was terrified to throw the ball downfield. Because the dude is a dink and dunker. If he throws the ball past 10 yards, it is extremely inaccurate and there's a high chance it's going to get picked off because he is just not good. The Colts, well, like I said, their season's over. I don't know where they go from here. Will they draft a quarterback? I don't know, but I will say this. If someone steals the Colts defensive coordinator, then the Colts are going to be a very bad team for a very bad time because that defensive coordinator has been carrying that team for the past 2 years. The Colts, they got some talent on defense. It's really just Darius Leonard and Justin Houston. Everyone else is just meh at best. So it's pretty much schemes with him or with that team. And if someone takes him off the Colts' hands, then yikes, Indy's going to be in a hole for a very long time. As for Tennessee, like I said, they won 5 out of their last 6. They're 7-5. They're still in the playoff hunt. But honestly, this typical Titans team. Start off bad, start to make you believe towards the middle of the season, and then they crush you at the end. This is your typical Titans story. And I'm going to tell you exactly how this is going to play out with the Titans for the next 2 years, or the remainder of this year and next year. So, Titans, they're going to finish 9-7. Who they'll lose to, I don't know. I don't care. They're going to finish 9-7. One of those losses, maybe both of those losses will be against Houston. Maybe one of them will be against New Orleans. I don't know. But point is, Tennessee will finish 9-7. Tennessee's owner will say, "Oh my God, maybe all Mike Vrabel needed was a good quarterback. I mean, he went 2-4 with Marcus Mariota, and then went 7-3 with Ryan Tannehill. Let's give Mike Vrabel another chance with Ryan Tannehill." So they're going to sign Ryan Tannehill to like a 2 or 3 year deal, a big deal, because, Ryan Tannehill has been playing pretty decently as of late. And they're going to keep Mike Vrabel as their head coach. They're going to go into next season. Mike Vrabel and Ryan Tannehill are going to suck. And the Titans will go 9-7 yet again in 2020. That's how it's going to play out with the Titans. I mean, you can see it. You can just see it happening. Mike Vrabel's a terrible head coach. He should be fired after the season, but since he's going to go 7-3 or 6-4 with Ryan Tannehill, they're going to keep him. And yeah, it's going to be the same old Titans team this year and next year. Your typical 9-7 Titans team. Next game, Buccaneers at Jaguars. Buccaneers won this game 28-11, and Nick Foles got benched. Gardner Minshew's back. I mean, that's all I'm going to say on that, man. I mean, this is worse than the Brock Osweiler situation for the Jaguars. And honestly, a lot of people called it because Nick Foles has only been good in Philly. Everywhere else he's been trashed. And yeah, that's pretty funny. Next game, Packers at Giants. Packers won this game 31-13. This game was a little close at the start, but the Packers ended up pulling away. I mean, how much else can you say? How much else can you expect? The Packers are clearly a better team, and they won big. Next game, Eagles at Dolphins. The Eagles lost to the Dolphins 37-31. The Eagles are 5-7. You would think a 5-7 team would be out of the playoffs. Nope. Not in the NFC East. Dolphins, well, they're 3-9. I guess they're not done winning. Everybody thought they were tanking all season, but here they are with 3 wins. I mean, give credit to Brian Flores, man. The guy's a good coach. He's squeezing out wins with this team. I believe he's like 3-2 the last 5 games, which is actually better than the Eagles and Cowboys. So, I mean, yeah. Just disappointed in the Eagles. They could have literally been tied with the Cowboys for the top of their division, but here they are, 5-7. And honestly, even though they're a game back of the Cowboys and they still have to play later on in the season at home, I think Philly's season's done. I don't see them bouncing out of this, man. I just don't see it. Next game, Niners at Ravens. Honestly, this game was kind of ruined by the rain. I don't feel like we got what we were supposed to get. I just wish this game wouldn't have been rainy, but the Ravens ended up winning 20-17 on a Justin Tucker game-winning field goal. I mean, everybody knew Justin Tucker was going to make. He's Justin Tucker, the best kicker in the NFL, easily. So, yeah, the Niners, I thought they played pretty undisciplined on defense. Their defensive ends kept crashing down on the running backs and letting Lamar Jackson run outside. And yeah, I just feel like we got robbed, I feel like the rain robbed us of what could have been a potential game of the year. I mean, Shanahan, he went for it on 4th down a couple times, and the Niners' strength is their run game, but he decided to pass for whatever reason, and of course they didn't convert. And I feel like that was probably the difference in the game, but regardless, I feel like we got robbed, man. Next game, Browns at Steelers. The Steelers won this game 20-13. Browns fans really thought they were going to run the table and make the playoffs. Well, yeah, their season's over 5-7. I don't see them making the playoffs at 9-7. So, yeah, and the Steelers, they somehow, some way keep finding ways to win, and that's pretty crazy. Now they're 7-5, and honestly, I think they'll stay as a 6th seed. Next game, Rams at Cardinals. Rams won 34-7. Rams offense in this game looked like the old Rams offense from last year, but don't let that fool you. They're still the same old Rams, or the Rams have been this season, and Jared Goff still sucks. They're still not making the playoffs, even though they're 7-5. I mean, yeah. Next game, Raiders at Chiefs. The Chiefs won 40-9. Oakland, I am very disappointed in you. I wasn't expecting them to win this game, but I was expecting them at least to make it interesting. But instead, they got blown out for the 2nd straight week in a row. And I was a believer in the Raiders, man. They were 6-4 2 weeks ago. They played the Jets. I was like, oh, they're going to beat the Jets easily. And then they play the Chiefs. That's going to be a good game. And nope, they get blown out those 2 weeks. That's just disappointed. Next game, Chargers at Broncos. Broncos won 23-20. I feel like we got robbed again. This game should have went into overtime, but the refs called a BS pass interference penalty on Casey Hayward, and of course the Broncos kicked the field goal and won the game. There was like 13 seconds left, and Drew Lock just threw one up to his receiver, and they called pass interference on Casey Hayward, and it set the Broncos up in field goal range. Yeah, that's so BS. I mean, both teams are 4-8. Both their seasons are over, and Chargers just keep finding new ways to lose. Broncos, well, let's see how Drew Lock does these last 4 games. Next game, Patriots at Texans. Texans won this game 28-22. Don't let the score fool you. The Texans completely dominated the Patriots in every single way possible. They frustrated Tom Brady, and Deshaun Watson carved up that Patriots defense, passing for 3 touchdowns and even catching a touchdown himself. I mean, coming into the game, the Patriots, they had only allowed 4 passing touchdowns, and against Houston, they allowed 4 passing touchdowns. And, that's what happens when you face a good quarterback. The Patriots have been facing pretty meh quarterbacks all season, and once they face a good quarterback, the best quarterback they've played all season, he completely, tears up that defense without a run game. Because the Patriots shut down the Texans' run game. Deshaun Watson just found ways. Bill O'Brien and Romeo Crennel out-coached Bill Belichick. Next game, Vikings at Seahawks. Seahawks won 37-30. It was a pretty good game, not gonna lie. Even though Kirk Cousins is now like 0-7, 0-8 in Monday Night Football games, I mean, they did good, man. I mean, they lost Dalvin Cook. He didn't play. He got hurt, and he didn't come back into the game. Maybe the game would have been different if Dalvin Cook would have finished out the game. I don't know, but this was a good game. I like both these teams. The Seahawks now take control of their division, and the Vikings, they're still sitting there as the 6th seed, and honestly, I don't think they're letting go of it. I think they're going to hold on to that 6th seed, and I think Seattle and San Francisco, I believe they play Week 17. That one's going to be the NFC West Division Championship, and I feel like they're going to flex that game into prime time, because they always do that. Somehow, some way, the NFL always has a game in Week 17 that has some sort of huge playoff implications, and they always end up flexing that game into primetime. And I feel like this year it'll be the Niners and Seahawks playing for the division in Week 17, and it should be fun. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have for you guys for today. Be sure to comment down below your own opinions on Week 13. And yeah, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.